Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Nayoka. If you're new, please be sure to hit that subscription button and turn on your post notification bell so you won't miss another video like this. And to my existing subscribers, I love you guys. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. All right, so this video is gonna be real quick today. I'm gonna be talking about 3 things that you shouldn't do as international students. Now, these are experiences that I've been through, and also some of my friends have been through it too. So I just wanna share them with you so that you can make the decision if you wanna still do it or you don't wanna do it based on my opinion. All right, so let's dive right into this video. So the first thing on my list is do not buy a car. A lot of you guys might be looking at me now like, I want to buy a car. I want my car because I like to drive and everything. But hear me out for a minute. Now, remember, as an international student, you're already paying between $15,000 to $20,000 per year for your tuition fee. Now, I know a lot of people, they might be able to afford it because maybe their parents and their family members are helping them out. So then if you're able to buy the car and it won't be any problem, I mean, go ahead. But if you're not able to do it, I would suggest not to. Just wait a bit, be humble a bit, take the bus a bit, and just take your time to get used to the country. Then you can make the decision after that to get a car. Now, when you have a car, there are some responsibilities that comes with a car. First, you have to think about where you're going to park the car when you buy the car. Because sometimes when you rent an apartment or a house or something, or a room in a house, then there are limited parking spaces. So sometimes you don't have anywhere to park the car, and you can't just park the car on the roadside because then you can get fined, you can get a ticket for that. So you have to think about where are you going to park the car. Second of all, if you're planning to buy a brand new car, you have to think about car payments. If you're even buying the car cash in full, you still have to think about insurance. And insurance is not cheap. So you have to think about all those things. Also, mechanic bills, like whenever you if something happens to your car, then you have to think about bringing it to the mechanic to check it out to make sure that, okay, everything is going fine. You have to think about those type of bills. When winter comes, you have to think about putting on winter tires, and that's another expense again, right? So you have to think about all these things, not to mention gas. Oh my gosh, gas prices are very high right now. So I would suggest just wait a bit and be humble and just take your time, before you decide to buy a car as a student, as an international student. All right. You can thank me later. Just be humble. So the second thing on my list is don't be quick to move out. If you come to Canada and you're living with a family member that you don't really have to pay so much bills, or they're not really asking you for any contribution, just stay there as long as you can. Stay there as long as you're welcome there, because when you think about moving out on your own, that's a lot of expense that you're bringing to yourself. Like, take it from me, because I have the experience with that. No, I'm currently living on my own. I just moved out like a few months ago. I'm living on my own now. But when I just came to Canada, I was living with a family member when I was a student. But now I have my postgrad work permit, so I'm able to like work full time, work more hours. I can work and actually sustain myself. But as a student, I don't think I would be able to do this that I'm doing right now, because the funds are not coming in, but I have to find a way how to get it, right? So I would suggest not to be too quick to move out. If you're staying with your family member, just be humble there and live under their roof, obey by their rules, and just be calm about it. Also, because when you think about living on your own, there's a lot of expenses that comes with that. First, you have to think about your rent. And believe me when I say this, rent in Canada is not cheap. you're looking at a 1-bedroom apartment for like $1,500. Just 1 bedroom. Just 1 bedroom. If you and that's if you want to live on your own. If you're renting a house in somebody's home, like say for instance I own a house and I have a 3-bedroom house and I just want to rent 1 room out of my house, so you basically would live with me and I have a room, so you have 1 room where you're paying for, but you don't live on your own because you're still under my house. So I'm your landlord, your landlady, and you're still living under my roof, but you're still paying rent for that 1 room. You might have to even share washroom and stuff like that. And if it's that situation, you might be paying $800 a month, $800 a month, and that's still a lot of money, right? So you want to make sure that as an international student, you keep your expenses to the bare minimum. Like try to spend as less as you can, because you don't want to try to live a lifestyle that your pocket cannot afford, right? So you have to just take your time and be humble, because there's gonna be a time when you're able to work full time and you're able to make the money. There's gonna be a time when you have your permanent residence where you can relax. But at this point, when you're a student, just calm down, take your time. Because when you think about bills, say for instance you have a 1-bedroom apartment and your rent is like $1,000 just for rent. You have to think about the utilities that comes too. You have to think about you have to think about the light bill that comes every month. You have to think about the gas bill that comes every month too. Well, in winter time, sometimes you might not have to pay gas in summer, but during the winter you have to pay gas. So you have to think about all those things. You have to think about water. Even though the water bill doesn't come every month, I believe that it comes every 3 months, and sometimes depends on where you live, you don't have to pay the water, it's included in the rent. But I don't want to get into all that, but just to give a brief example of how the renting what the bills that you have to pay when you're renting. So but when you're living in a house, you have to pay the water, you have to pay light, and you have to pay gas. So, and also internet, because everybody in Canada basically use Wi-Fi. If you don't use Wi-Fi, then you might have like a plan on your phone which might run out. So it's best to just have Wi-Fi. That's cheaper and better than to just have a plan alone, right? So you have to think about all those bills coming together. You have to think about food. Food is essential. So you have to think about food. You have to think about your transportation. That's a lot of expenses. So don't be too eager to like go out there on your own. Like, it's good to be independent, but just take your time, get to know the country first before you do certain things. All right, and the last thing on my list is, and this one is very important because a lot of people get caught up in the system and they make a big mistake with this one. And this one is, do not, and I repeat, do not work more than 20 hours per week. Believe me, it's very tempting to work more because the employer, they have the job ready. It's just you to come to work, right? But you have to let them know that, hey, I cannot work more than 20 hours per week. And you have to be strong about it, because at the end of the day, when you're looking about your paperwork for permanent resident, you want to make sure that everything is smooth. Because why waste all that time and then when it's time to do it, you can't, because of a silly mistake that you made in the past by just not working 20 hours per week. Like, it's very tempting, because when you start receiving your pay and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money, it's tempting to work more. But please do not fall in that trap. Work less than 20 hours per week, please, as an international student. The best thing about it is that whenever you get a break from school, you're allowed to work full time. Say for instance, well, back in my time, I was able to do that. So like summer break, for the summer break, you can work full time. That's fine. You don't have to work the 20 hours because at that time you don't have school. School is not in session. Also in Christmas, like the Christmas break, like those 2 weeks from in Christmas break, you can work full time because school is not in session. So as long as school is not in session, like reading week, Christmas and summer holidays, then you can work full time. You can just save the full time hours for that time. But then when you're going to school and you have school, regular school days, just stick to your 20 hours a week. All right, guys. So those are just 3 little points that I observed since I've been here in Canada as an international student. I have a lot of friends who did these same things and they're regretting it now. So you don't want to live a life of regret. So just be humble, be patient, and just take it one step at a time. Because at the end of the day, you will get a postgrad work permit once you follow all the rules. Then you'll be able to work full-time, any amount of jobs that you want, 5 jobs if you want, 10 jobs if you want. You can work 70 hours a week if you want, because at that time you will have an open work permit in which you can do whatever you want to do, whatever job you want to do, or whatever amount of hours you want to do. All right, guys, so those are my little points that I wanted to put to give you guys. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you do, please remember to like the video. Please leave a comment, guys. I love to answer your comments, so please leave a comment and let me know what you think about this video. If you want to hear more videos like these, please let me know. You can send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is Nayoka Dear. My other Instagram is Nayoka's Pastries. You can check out my Instagram, send me a message. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. Please remember to subscribe, share this video with your friends. Have a lovely day and God bless you. Bye now.